Hi everyone. My goal today is to show you how to make your business visible to federal agencies and federal buyers. I want your business to be noticed, and it's a skill that you can develop. It's few things that you can do that would position yourself and your business as a front runner for a lot of potential government contracts. So let's get into it. First, I would like to show you why being a visible business in federal contracting is important. So a lot of people think I always have to submit a proposal and that's how it works. But in a lot of cases, if you are noticed and if you are visible as a business, your chances and likelihood of winning and actually landing a government contract is a lot higher, simply because you can't win when you are not seen for. So federal agencies, they cannot award contracts if they don't know you exist. And in the government contracting space, they are not the ones seeking the product or the service you're offering. You are seeking them. So you have to be seen. The second important thing, which is early engagement advantage. If you have a relationship with an agency, if you are engaging with them, if they see that you understand them and you know the pain point and you develop some sort of a relationship with them through market research calls, meetings, stuff like that, your chances of winning are higher. Third, and very important one, is that federal agencies, in a lot of cases, they research potential vendors before they actually release a solicitation. So why this is important is if you are in the places where they research and they look for potential vendors, then your chances of landing a government contract are way higher than someone who waits on SAM to have the solicitation released and then submit a proposal or a bid. We want to be in the right place where agencies are looking. How federal agencies find vendors. I'm going to talk about two main places, and both are equally important, but obviously I'm going to start with the digital. Some things that you can do from your catch right now. First one is the Dynamic Small Business Search, which is DSBS. You have to have your business on there. I'm going to show you what it looks like. This is the website. For this, you have to be registered on SAM.gov. That's just a prerequisite. So you have to have a UEI. You would have your UEI, your case code, a profile about your business. So federal buyer would be able to see all of this information, your email address, your website, and in some cases, your capability statement, certification, set asides, and also they would be able to see if you have any past performances. So it's very important that you are on this website. The second thing is vendor portals. So each one of the federal agencies, they have a portal where they have vendors try and list themselves with their NAICS codes. So when a federal buyer is trying to get a government contract in a specific NAICS code, they could just look at this list and see who could they contact or who they could reach out for sources sought. So an example of that, this is the Navy, and they have a form where interested vendors can fill this form. As you can see, the case code, the company name, and then you list your business set aside certifications and NAICS codes. So in the future, this way you are listing your business. So in the future, when they have opportunities in your NAICS code, they know who to reach out to. You are visible where they're looking. That's a very important one. And mind you, each agency, each federal agency is going to have a form like this. I just brought this one as an example. Now, a third one, which I've talked about a lot, which is responding to sources sought and RFI. This is important because this way you are developing a relationship with the agency, you are talking to them, scheduling meetings with them, and then you're also showing your expertise so they can go back to you when they want to ask questions. And at the same time, you're developing a relationship because you're talking to them as a client and you're trying to understand what they want, the vision they have, and their pain point. And finally, this one helps a lot is LinkedIn. Everyone is on LinkedIn and everyone is on a lot of social media platforms these days, so federal buyers included. So if they see you and they see that you are a business, for example, you just increase your chances of landing a government contract because you are visible to everyone and to them. And also this way you're more capable of developing relationship because a lot of businesses know federal buyers know businesses, primes, and so on. So having a presence on social media, specifically LinkedIn, can increase your exposure to primes and also to federal agencies. Now, in-person channels, we have industry days, vendor outreach events. I'll share more details about this. Capability statement, referrals from primes, and past performance reputation. So we're going to talk about each one of these in more detail right now. So what's the 5-part visibility system that we're going to develop so your business is always standing out. One, as I've mentioned, we want to optimize our SAM, and we have to be registered on SAM, and we have a small business profile like this, so are visible to government buyers. They can get all the information they want about us here. The second thing is we want to respond to sources sought, because this way, as I've mentioned, we're developing relationships. Third, attend agency events. So there are online events are online, so you don't have to even leave your office or a home to attend these agency events. Or also some of them might be in your local county or state. So it might be worth it to go and introduce yourself and develop a relationship. More on this later. We want to distribute our capability statement, and we want to market to prime contractors. I'm going to show you how to do that in the following slides. So how do we optimize our SAM and DSBS profile? First, you don't want to do the bare minimum. So you want to fill as many fields as possible. If you have a website, you have to list it on there. If you don't, get one. You have to list your capability statement. If you don't get one, I'll show you a way to do that in a second. That would be so easy. Get all the certifications that you qualify for, because these increase your chances of landing as a sub. So if you have a prime and they want someone with, for example, women-owned business to work with, then you are primed or in good position to land that government contract. You want to also highlight past performances and accomplishments if you can. So if you have past performances, they have to be listed there. And also make sure you list specific and niche-specific NAICS codes. You don't want to fall under a large umbrella. You want it to be niche-specific, detailed NAICS codes as much as possible. And always update this profile as much as you can with the most recent information. So whenever a government agent or a buyer sees your profile, they have the most updated information. Now, responding to sources sought, and I've mentioned this a lot, first you want to recognize the opportunity. So you always want to be on the lookout for sources sought and RFIs. So if you don't know how to do that, if you use SAM search, you could just filter here by RFIs or sources sought. So this is important. It makes it a lot easier to filter for those. It should be straightforward. Then you want to craft strategic responses. So you want to tailor your capabilities to the specific need of the agency, and you want to show relevant past work when it's relevant. And you also would try to get on a call with them or a meet to learn about them, learn about their needs, about what they actually want. And then in a briefing or a meeting, you want to discuss your approach and provide your expertise. And so if it ever develops into a solicitation, you are in a good position and you would be the front runner because they trust your expertise, they know about your business, and they know about what you can offer. Now, we want to go where federal buyers are. So how do we do that? We develop relationship. It's all about relationships. So there are agency industry days. So whatever agency you're trying to work with, you could just look them up on Google and search for events. So here I found this is the schedule for all GSA events that are upcoming. And you can see that all of them are online. And these are just in this upcoming month. So you can see there are a lot of them. And you as a small business, you should make sure to get to as many of these that are relevant to your business as possible. Another one that I found is the OSDBU. This one, they also have events, as you can see here. And these are always updated. So you can see in the upcoming, there's one today, and then there's one in 15 days. And it's also online. So make sure to attend as many of these as possible. And again, it's very simple to find these online. Especially if there are agency-specific vendor outreach, if they're asking for businesses like you, make sure to go and introduce yourself and attend as many events that are relevant to your business as possible. Now, I mentioned that you have to have a capability statement, and it's so essential that you always update this and have it up to date with what your business is up to. Make sure to include your past performances, your contact information. If you have a website, make sure to include that, your detailed NAICS codes, UEI number, cache code, any set aside or certificates that you have, and always keep it to one page. Use professional branding and logo. Have it in both PDF and print format. I just recommend having it in a PDF format if you wanted to send it digital. Now, if you don't have a capability statement, it's never been easier to create one. If you head to SAM search and you click on resources, capability statement, you'll be able to create one within 5 minutes, and you can just download it for free. So make sure to make use of this. It's an easy way to get a capability statement for free. Now, the next step, which is leveraging prime contractor relationships. If you're a new business that's new to government contracting, it's always good to contact and reach out to prime contractors for two main things. One, to subcontract. Two, to develop relationship with agencies so they can introduce you. So once you build a good relationship with them and you work with them on a project, for example, or a contract, they are more likely to refer you or introduce you to a government buyer. This way you are also in a better position to land a government contract with that specific agency because they know you and they've heard good things about you from a prime contractor that they trust and value their opinion. So it's very important that you are always looking. Now you might ask me, how do you find those? It's actually very easy. Let me know in the comments if you want me to make a video on how to find prime contractors to subcontract to and also to develop a relationship with. Now, what are the key takeaways from this to increase your visibility as a business? One, we want to optimize and audit our SAM.gov and DSBS profile. We want to create and update a capability statement. Again, it's never been easier. We want to set up alerts for sources sought notices in our NAICS codes. If you have SAM Search, you can easily do that. And 4, you can schedule attendance to at least 3 agency outreach events this quarter. So this way you are meeting with them in person or online and you're talking to them and you're developing a presence so they always know that you're ready to work with them. Again, visibility is not an accident. It's the result of consistent strategic efforts. So make sure to put in the work to win more government contracts. So let me know if you want me to show you how to find prime contractors in your niche. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.